Rivers State Stakeholders Engagement Forum held in Port Harcourt. She noted that the program initiation as a commitment by the federal government to tackle unemployment, poverty, and radicalization among young Nigerians. Issues threatening the country's socio-political stability, national security, and economic development. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has pledged his full support for the growth and development of the newly established Federal University of Health Sciences and Technology, SAFE. Speaking during the official inauguration of the Pioneer Vice-Chancellor in Abuja, the governor described the institution as a life-changing project that will open new frontiers in human capital development and healthcare delivery for the people of SAFE and beyond. Represented by the head of service, Yakubu Sani, the governor explained that the establishment of the university would not only expand access to advanced medical training, but also position Zamfara as a strategic hub for healthcare innovation. The recently announced secondary school curriculum reform has continued to generate mixed reactions, while some see it as a milestone for Nigerian education. Others are raising concern about its implementation. Education correspondent Priscilla Obasi took to the streets of Abuja to get the views of school owners and citizens.
For years, Nigerian students have studied under a curriculum widely criticized for being outdated and overly exam-focused. But from September 2025, the federal government says things will change. The new curriculum introduces artificial intelligence modules, robotics, cybersecurity basics, digital entrepreneurship, journalism, and advanced language studies. Officials say the goal is to prepare Nigerian students for the realities of the digital age. While some citizens welcome the reform as a bold and progressive step, others expressed concern over how it will be implemented, citing inadequate facilities, lack of digital infrastructure, and shortage of qualified teachers.
It's even too late as I speak. It's a welcome development. This is 21st century. We are far lacking behind. What's the essence of introducing 20 textbooks, 15 textbooks you are reading without practical?
Well, if they can implement it, is good. But what about people in the rural area? Government have a good intention, but implementation is the issue. Because we have a rural area, I hope they're not going to leave them behind.
Some school owners and heads told Global Television that many private institutions have already integrated such subjects into their teaching and that the new curriculum will not be strange to them.
Okay, for us, we are very prepared because prior to now, we are known for creativity and innovation in our school. We are hands-on, and even before the curriculum, we've always engaged our students and pupils in all of this. So we are very ready.
I have looked at it closely. There are similarities between the reforms that the federal government in Nigeria is bringing into the educational system that you have already in the British system, and then you have in what we practice here at Spring Hall. If you notice, you find out that the reforms are then beginning to geared towards entrepreneurial skills, ICT, as well as trade skills. And we already have that embedded in the British national curriculum in some of the subjects we've been offering here as well.
Despite concerns, many agreed that the reform was long overdue. Stakeholders said that if properly implemented, the new curriculum could bridge the skill gap and make Nigerian graduates more globally competitive. As schools prepare to resume, the debate continues. Will the reform transform classrooms into centers of innovation, or will it remain another well-intentioned policy struggling against the reality of underfunded schools? Priscilla Obasi, Global Television News.
Members of Kebbi State Caucus in the National Assembly have called for the arrest and prosecution of former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over last week's violent clashes in Birnin Kebbi. Addressing journalists in Abuja, Senator Adamu Alero, flanked by fellow lawmakers, dismissed Malami's petition, accusing Governor Nasser Idris of sponsoring thugs and arms deal as false, politically motivated and a smear campaign. Anita Patrick has the rest of the reports.
The lawmakers alleged instead that Malami hired thugs who attacked the APC state secretariat during his recent visit, sparking clashes that disrupted Kebbi's long-standing reputation for peace. They reaffirmed their support for Governor Idris, praising his administration's investment in security and insisting that Kebbi remains one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria.
We wish to categorically state that these allegations are false, unfounded, and politically motivated. They represent a desperate attempt by Mr. Malami, now leader of an imaginary opposition party in Kebbi State, to undermine the peace, progress, and stability that our people currently enjoy under the leadership of Governor Nasir Idris.
Senator Garuba Medoki added that we are provocative and campaigned-like, challenging him to produce evidence of his allegations. He also commended President Bola Tinubu's ongoing fight against banditry, noting improved security in Kebbi communities.
Challenge him to produce evidence to you that he said he has evidence. We challenge him to produce it that our party is importing weapons. We are not a dangerous people. We do not support any dangerous activity towards Nigeria. We do not support terrorism in whatever form and manner, and we are against it. We are going to fight it. The president has done so well in the fight of banditry today.
The caucus urged security agencies to invite Malami to substantiate his claims and warned against allowing partisan theatrics to undermine national peace efforts. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
The Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala has charged Nigerian Naval and Navy personnel to remain proactive, adaptable, and forward-thinking in addressing insecurity. He gave the charge at the graduation of Naval Police Office Basic Course 14 and Able Regulators Qualifying Course 16 at the Provost and Regulating School in Makurdi, Benue State. Felicity Ndiri has details.
It was a day of pride at the Nigerian Provost and Regulating School in Makurdi as students marched out after completing 18 weeks of intensive training.
Knowledge you have gained in this citadel of learning is a solid foundation. It is important to remember that learning never stops.
Represented by the Flag Officer Commanding Special Operations Command, Rear Admiral Olusegun Shoyemi, the Chief of Naval Staff said the evolving nature of security demands continuous learning, adaptability, and discipline from naval personnel.
The Nigerian Navy is constantly adapting to meet the ever-evolving challenges of the 21st century. Our maritime domain continues to grow in strategic importance, and it is imperative that you, as members of this esteemed service, remain adaptable, proactive, and forward-thinking. As such, take every opportunity to learn, improve, and contribute to the advancement of our Navy.
Commandant of the school, Captain Henry Eje, explained that the training covered naval law, criminology, forensic investigation, and cyber security, equipping officers for contemporary security challenges.
It is pertinent to note that a professional diploma in forensic investigation and security management package conducted by the International Institute of Professional Security was added to the course's curriculum. The inclusion of this package has not only broadened the knowledge of these graduates, but also prepared them to face contemporary and emerging security threats in the maritime environment.
Certificates were presented to all graduates, with outstanding students receiving special awards. Officers noted that the graduation strengthened discipline and professionalism in the naval while enhancing its capacity to safeguard Nigeria's maritime domain. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global TV News.
Peer influence remains one of the most powerful forces shaping the lives of young people across the globe, and Nigerian is no exception. While it sometimes drives positive change, Experts warn it can also lure youth into destructive choices. Global Television Kabir Hassan hit the streets of Abuja to hear firsthand from young Nigerians on this reality.
For many youths, the desire to fit in is overwhelming. Psychologists says the strong need for acceptance often makes teenagers and young adults vulnerable to peer pressure, sometimes leading to negative behaviors such as drug abuse, cultism, and internet fraud. But not all influences are harmful. In Abuja, some young people told Global TV that peer pressure has pushed them into better habits, from studying harder to learning new skills, inspired by friends pursuing the same goals.
The side effect of peer pressure is a bad side. One, you lead you to go and do bad things. If you are not a patient type, you lead you to go and steal, you lead you to go and do something you never expected in your life. The best way to do is just to avoid.
It does more harm than good. It really does more harm than good, because most of what these adolescents pick up quickly are the bad parts, like getting into drugs, smoking, and all of that. I think when you're pressured to do some certain things, you know it's definitely bad. There's not much good coming from that.
Some bullies, so it might want to be like, it might be like you don't have the strength they have, and the thing might disturb you mentally or emotionally, and sometimes some people start, let's say a place like boarding school now, before you know, you can start taking drugs.
There's a lot of pressure, especially negative pressures are more. We have more negative pressure in pairing something than the positive one.
Still, stakeholders caution their guidance is key. School, families, and religious bodies are urged to step up efforts to help youths make wiser choices. They stress that while peer pressure can be a source of motivation without proper direction, it risks undermining the future of Nigeria's next generation.
Take their time, make thorough research before they join one or two groups. You understand? Because I don't know, some people they don't know. By the time they get into it, to come out, it will be hard for them.
What can be done mostly to that effect is, I think, more work has to be done on parenting to sort of protect the children from when they go out there and meet other people.
The positive side, like later on, I see joined one or two groups that we have. We normally have tutorial together. We help ourselves. What you don't know, you say, oh, guy, what do you know about this? What do you know about this? And they will just come around, oh, let me teach you about this course.
Peer pressure is inevitable. The challenge is making it work for good, not harm. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, United States cuts imports from Nigeria by 40%. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. In business, the federal government has taken decisive steps to harness Nigeria's vast gas wealth after the African Export-Import Bank and Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fraud signed a landmark memorandum of understanding to mobilize up to $500 million for critical gas infrastructure projects. The agreement, announced in a statement from Cedras Group Africa, was signed on the sidelines of the Inter-Africa Trade Fair in Cairo and facilitated by Cedras Group Africa. The deal sets out a plan to raise funds over 4 years to support midstream and downstream projects. The United States has cut its imports of Nigerian goods by more than 40% in just 1 month, heightening concerns about the fragile nature of Nigeria's trade relationship with one of its most strategic partners. The collapse in imports coincided with a sharp fall in United States exports to Nigeria during the same month, from $919 million in June to $584 million in July, despite the drop in exports Washington still recorded a surplus of $206 million in July, compared with $280 million in June. In the bustling markets in Nigeria, especially in the western part of the country. In the bustling markets in Nigeria, especially in the western part of the country, the rich indigo hues of Adire Nigerians' traditional tie and dye flutter proudly in the wind. They are made more than fabrics. They are stories woven in color, tradition, and identity. Our correspondent takes us into the world of this popular Yoruba attire. Tie and dye, known locally as Adire in Yoruba language, is one of Nigerians' oldest textile traditions, rooted in centuries of artistry. It involves the intricate process of folding, tying, stitching, or plaiting fabrics. The dyeing is with natural or synthetic colors, most famously the deep blue from local indigo leaves.
Because I love it. It's actually a renewed fashion known by mostly the Yorubas.
Historically worn by royalty and women of status, tie and dye fabrics today have made a modern comeback, seen on runways, in fashion boutiques, and on the streets, proudly worn by youth reclaiming cultural pride. Beyond fashion, tie and dye is a symbol of resilience. In a fast-changing world, this craft continues to empower communities, especially women, providing income and preserving heritage.
Adire market is okay. It's moving well because of time. You know, this kind of Adire you see, you used to buy time. Like because of some guests are using it to sew trouser with it, use it with another color of follow at it. You understand? So they used to buy it.
Today, young designers are blending old techniques with new trends, with mixing patterns, introducing bold colors, and experimenting with global styles. Workshops and cultural centers across Nigeria, and now teaching the younger generation this tireless skill.
This time around, I'm seeing it, people wearing it. I think it's kind of different, and people were wearing different style of Adire. You understand? And again, when you have a very good tailor that can sew it for you, you understand? You are going to love it.
From the Art and Culture Center in Abuja to Indigo Pits of Osogbo to the art schools of Lagos and other cities, producing Adire, the beauty of tie and dye lives on, not just in the colors and patterns, but in the cultural pride it inspires.
In every swill and speech of color lies a story of identity, creativity, and Nigerian heritage. A reminder that even in modern times, our culture remains beautiful, dyed in tradition. Sadia Yakubu reporting for Global Television.
Israeli army is intensifying its military operations in Gaza City, threatening Palestinians to evacuate southward as attacks accelerate. A post on X by the army says more than 250,000 people have reportedly fled the city. United Nations estimates from the late August indicated approximately 1 million Palestinians were living in around Gaza's largest urban centers, where famine conditions are taking hold after a month of deteriorating circumstances. And in sports, Nigerians are hope of a place on the podium in the women's long jump at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo has ended as Esebiri and Preston failed to press from the qualification round, both falling short of the automatic mark of 6.75 meters and missing out on the place among the best at 12. Brumi 29 recorded a best of 6.46 meters in Group B, a legal jump with A plus 1.0 minutes per second tailwind that left her 10th in the group and 19th overall. Ochonogo 19, who was making her World Championships, managed 6.05 meters in Group A to place 16th in the pool and 33rd overall. Meanwhile, Nigeria's challenge in the women's discus ended in the first round of the World Athletic Championships in Tokyo, with Obiageri, Amechi, and Chioma both missing out on places in the final. Amechi, making her second World Championships appearance, opened with a throw of 55.69 meters before managing 48.82 meters on her second attempt. She was unable to find the improvement needed on her third and final effort and bowed out in the qualification stage. Back home, the Nigerian Premier League enters match day 4 with heavyweight fixtures across the country as Rivers United and Shooting Stars clash in Port Harcourt, while Enugu Rangers head to Kano to rekindle one of the league's finest rivalries. At the Adoki Stadium, Rivers will be aiming to extend their unbeaten start when they host struggling Shooting Stars. The Pride of Rivers have taken 5 points from their opening 3 games, placing them 8th on the table. As Global Television News Express comes to an end, here's a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its 5-day warning strike 2 days after it began. In business, the United States has cut its import of Nigerian goods by more than 40% in just 1 month, heightening concerns about the fragile nature of Nigeria's trade relationship with one of its most strategic partners. On the foreign scene, Venezuela has accused the United States of illegal boarding and occupying one of its fishing vessels in the country's special economic zone, further escalating tensions between Washington. And in sport, Nigerians' hope of a place on the podium in the women's long jump at the World Athletic Championships in Tokyo has ended as SA Premier failed to progress from the qualification round, but falling short of the automatic mark of 6.75 meters and missing out on a place among the best. So that's it on that. That's it on TV and Global Television News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and StarTimes channels 276. Follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.